Why didn't you do your alcohol screening and assessment?
Forgot to print it out.
What?
I said I forgot to print it out.
Oh. Just don't miss the test.
Hi, Post Pollock viewers. Dave Epstein here from the Post Pollock firm in Roseland, New Jersey. Here to talk today about a judge I like to watch. No, it's not Judge Fleischer, who I do like to watch. Some people like him, some don't. There's another judge out there who gets a lot of views and a lot of traction. His name is Judge Simpson. He's out in Michigan. I've seen him. I love the guy. He's just very practical, matter of fact. But this is a little tutorial on what you do if you are charged with a crime and you're on bail and you have conditions, and that is follow them. Let's watch.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time that was originally set for sentencing. I have received and reviewed the recommendation from probation with Ms. Johnson. She has not, we do acknowledge she has not completed the alcohol screening and assessment through Von Schwartz, and she did miss a test on July 1st. I did discuss this with her yesterday on the phone and advised her to go to community corrections as soon as possible to try to test. She informed me, and so did her father, who is here with her today, that she did go to community corrections this morning before court and was there for about 45 minutes, and they said she was unable to test this morning. We are respectfully requesting that the court not remand her at this time and that we adjourn the sentencing out in August to give her the opportunity to complete the alcohol screening and assessment. She is gainfully employed at St. Joe's. She does not want to lose that job. In the alternate, if the court is inclined to remand her in both speaking with Ms. Johnson and her father, our request would be to potentially allow that remand to happen a couple weeks in the future so she can take time off work at St. Joe's so she does not lose that job. Other than that, Your Honor, we respectfully request an adjournment of the sentencing.
And Teresa Clare on behalf of probation. Your Honor, I did communicate with community corrections this morning. She did go over, and she wasn't scheduled to do a test today, so she did not test. She did do her download of her scram. I just confirmed with them that there was no violations on the scram. However, she had not reported to them after June 15th. So there was quite a bit of info that they had to download on that. So I do know that there was no violations on the scram. However, probation also wants to point out to the court that this court did direct her back on April 3rd, I believe, and warned her about any further mistesting. So she was given a warning by this court back in April about her remaining compliant with the testing.
Why?
Why what?
Why'd you miss a test? I mean, I gave you a huge break back in April and just told you, just don't miss the test. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And then when you pled, why didn't you do your alcohol screening and assessment?
Forgot to print it out.
What?
I said I forgot to print it out.
Oh.
Forgot to print it out. Folks, I'm just going to interrupt for a second. This is a problem that happens in the criminal justice system with a lot of defendants. So you get arrested, and I don't know what she was charged with originally. And you have a hearing. First, you have a bail hearing, and the court wants to give an assessment of you or get an assessment of you. And one of the things they very often require is drug and alcohol screening. They don't want you drinking or using drugs for whatever reason, depending on your case, while your case is pending, while you're on bail waiting trial. Or after you've reached a plea deal, they have the same condition. And what happens is people don't do it. People just, they lose their minds, or they're just not responsible enough. And what happens is you create what is called the vicious cycle. So you violate your probation, you violate the terms of your plea. Now all of a sudden you're facing jail, or charges were suspended or dropped. They can be reinstituted under many of these plea arrangements or pretrial intervention. We have in New Jersey something called a conditional discharge. That's for a drug offense. We have pretrial intervention. You have all these programs that can help. There's this young lady. She's a young lady. And she obviously got in trouble. And the judge, and I've seen Judge Simpson before, he tries to cut people breaks. But this woman did not follow it. She didn't come for alcohol screening. And now her excuse is, I didn't print it out. Folks, print it in your brain. You should know everything you're supposed to do to get out of trouble with the law. If you have ways, if you're given ways by a judge to get yourself out of trouble with the law, you follow them scrupulously. Do not mess around, because what happens is it gets worse. And now you have a record behind you that you didn't have to have. And you keep digging your heels in, getting yourself in more trouble. Well, let's see what happens here.
They do so much. I mean, I didn't send you the last time. I'll re-refer to defendant Tubon Swartz for completion of her alcohol screening and assessment. Young lady, understand something. If you don't do it, and I don't have that alcohol screening and assessment, the only thing that I can really sentence you to is the maximum time. And I don't want
The
to.
paper,
What?
the paper,
What
with all
paper?
the lists on it. What is Von Schwartz?
That's for your alcohol screening and assessment.
Is there somebody I'm supposed to go to? What does that name stand for?
That's somebody that you need to call to set up an appointment so that they can interview you and do an assessment.
Okay.
And Your Honor, my office, I know that the clerk's office sends things out. My office also sent an email to her on June 5th, which gave her the packet and the information for the alcohol assessment in addition to the information to complete the victim's information.
So she's doubly doomed, because the prosecutor's now saying we mailed this out to her. She got everything. Now she's just sunk herself, and she could have been. All she had to show up. And alcohol screening, by the way, just so you understand, drug screening can tell in many instances whether you've been using drugs at all, like marijuana or THC will stay in your system for sometimes a month or more. Alcohol, it's only if you're drinking right then and there. Alcohol is only in your blood as long as, when you're drinking, you're actively drinking. And there's some people who are alcoholics who it will be, even though they know they're going to get in trouble. But let's hope that this young lady is not an alcoholic, and all she had to do was show up for the screening, which she didn't.
Need to pay a $75 referral fee. Do you have that?
No.
Adjourner sentenced August 28, 2024, 9 a.m. Young lady, you are leaving me with no options. And I have a feeling that if you don't follow this, that I'm going to end up sending you for the maximum time. I don't want to do that. I'm going to end up finding you in contempt and sending you. So in this, I'm going to, for the bond violation, I'm going to remand her for 3 days. Washtenaw County Jail for the bond violation. Defendant's remanded. Just go. Is that Dad?
Yes, Your Honor.
Get her back. Dad, hang on one second. Go ahead, take her back. Come on up, too. Can you come up to the phone? What's your name, sir?
Tony Johnson.
Okay. Can you help try to get her through the,
Yes, I will definitely make sure that she does it. She lives with her mom, So I don't kind of know the things that kind of goes on. So I'm just coming to support, and I just was hoping that you didn't take her to jail because
I know.
she need this job so bad.
I know. And I trust me, I did not want to. I just, Miss Clara, can you give to Dad the Von Swartz information and the victim's impact information so that he has it, so that I get where he is, so that he knows what she has to do.
Yeah, sure.
So
I do know, I heard him in the hallway, really getting after her for not doing things. So I think that he will.
Well, I don't doubt
If
that.
you stop by my office, sir, I'll ask them to give you the paper, print it out.
Is that in this
It's
building?
right down the hallway.
Okay.
And so I'll tell them you're coming right down.
And,
Okay.
I have the $75 for any fee or whatever that she might have needed to pay. I do have the money, so.
Whose case is this? Yours?
Yes, sir.
Counsel approach with Miss Blair.
Okay, folks. So we saw it there. We saw a judge, a few attorneys, I think that was her father, a relative, a friend. Everybody is trying to help this young lady, but meanwhile, through her actions and not doing what she needed to do, and it was not that difficult to do it, now she faces losing a job. She faces going to jail. She faces a lot of things. She had to do 3 days. So, folks, the moral of the story here is if you get in trouble, use every opportunity you can to get yourself out of trouble. And there are ways in our justice system that you can do that lawfully. Obviously, if you win a trial, that's great. But the problem is to get if by the time you get to trial, you've already committed bail violations, you're already in a bad way. So follow whatever instructions, requirements you have. If you do pretrial intervention, if you're out on bail, if you do what's known as a conditional discharge, because it's like a vicious cycle. It just keeps snowballing and getting worse. Follow the rules. It will help you, and it may even prevent you from having a criminal record if you're a one-time offender. Hope you learned something from this, folks. Hope to see you back next time. Please hit like, subscribe, and please leave your comments. This is Dave Epstein signing off for Post Pollock. Thank you.